Well, first of all, I don't know what happened because I guess my microphone or something stopped working, but then it went to the backup microphone, which works, and they showed up as the audio is there, but I guess not. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But anyways, I'm gonna jam all those videos into one and re-record them for the YouTube channel because that's really frustrating. But anyways, the UN passes resolution on ending Israeli settlements. This is huge. Absolutely huge. World War III is coming, folks. World War III is coming. The UN Security Council has voted in favor of a resolution demanding the halt of settlement activity by Israel on occupied Palestinian territory, with the United States notably abstaining. This is another link to 100% confirm that. This is absolutely massive. The UN passes a resolution calling for end to Israeli settlements. The UN Security Council on Friday passed a resolution demanding an end to Israeli settlement building on occupied territories. The U.S. had the ability to veto the resolution, but abstained from doing so despite pressure from President-elect Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Applause erupts after the UN Security Council passes first resolution on Middle East peace process in 8 years. When I first recorded this, maybe 30, 45 minutes ago, it only had 2,000 shares. You can see how big this is and people are awake, which is good news because there's people who are wondering what in the world's going on with this. Obama has fully turned his back on Israel. The Obama administration's decision to let it pass represents a break from the long-standing U.S. policy of shielding Israel from UN reproaches. Now, here's a little catch. We just agreed to like a $10 billion, $100 billion funding plan with Israel over the next few years. So to me, it says that war is coming and the U.S. is going to help fund and so on and so forth. But this what the UN's done is huge. The Middle East peace process, folks. We know what that means. Moving on to the next video that was made, but apparently it got deleted. The original article that I was using was not Breitbart, but we'll use Breitbart. Snopes CEO accused in divorce proceedings of embezzling company money to spend on prostitutes. This is beyond. Oh, by the way, one of the main fact checkers is a dominatrix. This is. It's beyond upsetting because we're doing the very best that we can to get the truth out. Not only to get the truth out, but to just awaken people to mainstream media bias and deception and propaganda. And the people on Facebook, because now, of course, you know that the arbiters of Facebook and fake news, one of them is Snopes. Well, Snopes is run by who exactly? It was announced last week that Snopes would be helping Facebook to determine and label fake news with the help of ABC News and PolitiFact. The Daily Mail reports that the CEO of Snopes, David Mikkelsen, is currently embroiled in a vicious legal battle with his former wife and Snopes co-founder Barbara Mikkelsen. The couple divorced sometime around 2014, but legal proceedings have continued between the couple. These two are going to be telling the youth on Facebook. How big is Facebook? Facebook has billions of accounts all over the world. Snopes is going to apparently be a part of the fact-checking group. In other words, a dominatrix, a porn star, and a hooker, and a person who, it's just shocking. They're going to tell your kids what the truth is. So, of course, they're going to go against Christianity. They're going to say that Christians are, well, they don't know what they're talking about. Because they themselves are involved in so much sin. It's ridiculous. Barbara has claimed that her former husband embezzled money from the company. We can take the Christian aspect of this out of it too, and it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. You're going to trust these people with telling you what the truth is. It's madness. This world is madness. And there was a report. Where was it? Oxford Dictionaries that did a word for the day. I can't remember if I made a video on this or not, but it was post-truth. And yeah, we are living in the post-truth era. And my interpretation of that word of the year means that people think that we've progressed past the truth, and the truth being Jesus Christ. But ladies and gentlemen, we have not progressed anywhere. We've regressed. And we're going backwards and backwards and backwards. That's the trend. We're going back to nakedness and stupidity. By the Daily Mail, let me go back up. Barbara has claimed that her former husband embezzled money from the company. Court documents obtained by the Daily Mail state that Barbara accused David of raiding the corporate business Bardav bank account for his personal use and attorney fees. Barbara also claims that David embezzled $98,000 over 4 years, which he expended upon himself and the prostitutes he hired. Barbara claims that David spent $10,000 from their business accounts between April and June of 2016 to fund an expensive 24-day holiday for him and his, quote, girlfriend. In a court filing from June, Barbara claims that David has been depleting the corporate account by spending monies from it on his personal expenses, and that David's access to account debit cards and checkbooks must immediately be revoked right away before there are no funds left in the corporate account. That's how bad it is. But they're going to tell you what the truth is, so have no fear, folks. They got you covered. Another point of contention during proceedings was David's salary. David demanded that his salary be increased from $240,000 a year to $360,000 a year, a sum that David agreed he would settle for, but believed was below industry standards. He argued that he should be making up to $720,000 a year. As I said, based on industry standards and our revenues, my salary should be about 2 times or 3 times what it is now. David wrote an email to Barbara in April of 2016. I'll settle for the $360,000 with the understanding that it's to be retroactive to the start of the year. Barbara disputed David's request, stating that it was not even in the galaxy of reasonable. According to the Daily Mail, David has remarried since his divorce from Barbara in 2014. His current wife, Alyssa Young, works as an administrative worker at Snopes, but she previously had a lengthy career as an escort, an adult film star, working under the name Erin O'Brien. Reviews for Young Services, quote-unquote, have been left on her personal escort website as recently as 2015. Young's websites and Twitter account describe her as a mature and experienced, this is disgusting, idealist, activist, and dreamer. Her website further states, here's the donation I request for my time, companionship, and entertainment, with non-negotiable rates of $1,200 for her minimum 4 hours and $5,000 for 24 hours. Oh my goodness. Mickelson has previously stated that Snopes does not take any political positions whatsoever. His current wife, however, has a history in politics. The Daily Mail reports that Young ran for the U.S. Congress in Hawaii on the Libertarian ticket in 2004, during which time she distributed cards that read, "Redefeat Bush," and condoms with the words, "Don't get screwed again," printed on the wrapping. On her campaign website, Young outright stated, "Let's face it, I'm an unlikely candidate. I fully admit that. I am a courtesan." Young's campaign, however, was unsuccessful, and she lost to Democratic incumbent Neil Abercrombie. Speaking to the Daily Mail, David Mickelson stated that Snopes did not have a standardized procedure for fact-checking, since the nature of this material can vary widely. He also stated that the process involves multiple stages of editorial oversight, so no output is the result of a single person's discretion. When asked about the requirements for becoming an employee at Snopes, Mickelson stated, accordingly, our editorial staff is drawn from diverse backgrounds. Some of them have degrees and a professional experience in journalism, and some of them don't. Also, according to the Daily Mail, another one of Snopes' lead fact-checkers has a history of sex blogging, writing under the pseudonym Vice Vixen. Snopes' fact-checker, Kim LaCapria, regularly wrote about sex and fetish gear on her own blog, which was described as a lifestyle blog, with a specific focus on naughtiness, sin. This is madness. She's a dominatrix, or she's at least interested in being a dominatrix, I guess. I don't know. One particular review reads, if you're doing something to your fella and you apply this to the base of his cash and prizes while you carry on, he will scream and perhaps cry. This is who's going to be fact-checking. What? That's a lead fact checker for you right there, folks. That's a lead fact checker. This is madness. Facebook has not yet stated when Snopes will be beginning their fake news flagging operations on the Facebook platform. Facebook's official announcement of the program, of course, we can see there. So far today, we've got the peace deal coming, and they've made a massive, massive step towards that direction. And we also have where the majority of people get their news is going to be filtered by these people. Wow. To top that off, Senate Homeland Security Chairman, the CIA refused to provide us with a briefing on the issue of Russian hacking. So the CIA, which pushes propaganda regularly, and most likely, well, probably, definitely owns the Washington Post, the CIA has completely refused to brief anyone on their allegations of Russian hacking. Apparently not just in the elections, but apparently in the U.S. period. The following press release was sent out by the U.S. Senate Committee on Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs last Friday. Washington. Senator Ron Johnson, chairman of the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, had this to say following news that the CIA refused to provide a briefing on the issue of Russian hacking in the U.S. The cyber attack capabilities of America's rivals and adversaries are significant and represent a real and growing threat to our security and world peace and stability. As chairman of the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, I returned to Washington this week and requested the CIA to provide a briefing on Russia's cyber capabilities and its involvement with the U.S. presidential election. The CIA refused this request. It is disappointing that the CIA would provide information on this issue to the Washington Post and NBC, but will not provide information to elected members of Congress. Sounds a lot like propaganda, wouldn't you say? And to top that off, you've got Albuquerque, New Mexico, of course. Albuquerque's police department is going to be manufacturing crack cocaine so they can arrest people they sell it to. When big government goes off the rails, it's almost like they're smoking crack. In this case, that's not far from the truth. The Albuquerque Police Department now plans to manufacture crack cocaine so they can sell it to people who are then arrested for possession of crack. Wait a sec. Crack cocaine is an illegal substance, right? So now the police are going to possess it, manufacture it, and sell it, and then arrest the citizens who buy it from them. Yep, that's how some police tell themselves they are the good guys when they manufacture crack cocaine to sell to the bad guys who were making the crack cocaine before the police started making it. In other words, the Albuquerque Police Department will now be engaged in the manufacture and distribution of Schedule I controlled substances, meaning it is no longer deniable that the cops are the drug dealers. It's now right out in the open. The madness continues. Hey, let me know if you guys like it when it's all jammed into one video, or would you prefer to have it in separate videos? That's all I've got for you. God bless and carry on. By the way, I do apologize for whatever issue took place with the previous videos.